And we're back. It's me. It's that MA double T. Along with, always with me is Huge Pop Scott T. And of course, our special guest this week, the one, the only Husky Rhodes. And I will publicly apologize for dropping the ball on not having your song. It'll be in the video package next week, I promise. And you can also tune in on Friday to our sports show. It will be on there like it was last week. My bad.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Thank you, Husky, for doing that, man.
That's no problem, man. No problem, man.
So this is our Royal Rumble show. It's season 2024 season premiere show. We will be talking everything Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking about our favorite moments of the last, how many, well, what was it, 40? 40?
It started in 88.
So
that'd be 30.
I'm 54, so I graduated in 88, so I was 60, so about 30-some years, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're approaching the 40-year mark.
It'll bother me if I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's the Royal Rumble 24.
36.
36. Yeah.
It's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. I would much rather watch a Royal Rumble than a WrestleMania. It's just excitement. You don't know who's coming out next. You hope that your guy wins, and if you gets that shot at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But so we're just gonna, I guess, go around. We'll start with our guest. They don't have to be in any specific order. If you have them ranked 10 to 1, that's fine.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
These are in no particular order for me. The first one that comes to mind, even though the production dropped the ball on it a little bit, AJ Styles' debut in 2016.
Okay.
Like, AJ Styles was the guy that got me back into pro wrestling in 2014 when he was doing stuff with the Bullet Club. So to see him show up in WWE, which is something I never would have imagined, and Kevin Dunn messed up on the production on that, because during his entrance, you only see Roman Reigns' face. They don't show who it is until after he's already walked out. And that, it irritates me to this day, but AJ Styles' debut is one of my favorite things in Rumble history, because it's just something I never thought I would ever see.
Right. Okay. Good.
Me?
All right, Scott. Yeah, I'll go last.
I will say this. I'll say this one first, because the last several years, the pay-per-views, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, have been lackluster, have been missing something, have been dropping the ball somewhere. And last year's Royal Rumble, when I got off my chair and I went running around the house like a kid that just seen the Michigan Wolverines score a touchdown to win the national championship. Great plug there. But when Ricochet and Logan Paul collided in the middle of that ring, I was up. I was like, what the hell? That was so good. And all these doubters, I'm not a Logan Paul fan per se, but that kid has mad skills in the ring. He can do it.
You can't deny it.
You can't, and to see both of them guys in that high of the air and come down after colliding with each other, in my opinion, that was probably one of WWE's best pay-per-views in a long time. They did it really well. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, that's why I should say Logan Paul Ricochet collision would be one of my favorites.
Now, Husky, you stole one of mine. That's fine. because that was definitely on my top 10. To go right along with the debut or the return, when Edge returned in 2020, came out of retirement, I popped. I mean, it was like when you hear On This Day, when you hear Alter Bridge, it's like, yes, he's back. And
yeah,
it was very well done. It's a toss up between that one and Christian returning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the two that I was kind of like going back and forth on trying to figure out, like, but Edge made the list. Christian, honorable mention.
The Christian one is great because it's in the middle of like a bad Royal Rumble because it's the pandemic Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And like all the Thunderdome stuff is just, it's really hard to look back on.
Right.
But when Christian's music hits and Edge is laying in the ring on his side watching his best friend make his return in the Royal Rumble, the moment that those two have is you can't write anything like that. Like that was absolutely perfect.
That one that Matt was talking about with Edge returning, I looked at that one today and I looked at some notes on it. I didn't know this, but I will read this to you. It was the live. I'm going to piggyback off Husky, man. The missing the mark on production. The first spear that Edge gave to Dolph Ziggler wasn't even there.
Show it.
They don't show it. I'm like, so you see Dolph Ziggler laying on the ground, and you guys see Edge up here. Yeah, where was that?
Yeah, you hear the crowd pop, and then you just turn and you just see Dolph Ziggler's feet in the air. It's just like, man, what the hell?
Right.
Like, you had one job.
I went back and watched that. I went back and watched that today, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so damn obvious. You're like, what?
I know, man. I know. It's like, cameraman, you had one job. You had one job to get that. The first spear that he can do with no doctors telling him otherwise. Right. And you miss it. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So next one on your list.
Are we including the greatest Royal Rumble?
I mean, you can go Titus World Slide if you'd like.
Because it's Titus World Slide. It's not even the fact that Titus O'Neil falls. It's Corey Graves scream laughing for 10 minutes straight. He can't keep it together. Poor Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton is just like, guys, come on, we got to keep it together. And he's just like, no, fuck you. This is too funny. Run it back. I think the truck was fucking with Corey. I think they were ribbing him because they keep running it back and he just keeps fucking dying. And Byron Saxton's just like, come on, shut up. But yeah, and Bryan Danielson talking about it. Because he's like, I see him running, and then he just disappears. And I'm like, where did he go? And then he slides out of the ring, and he's embarrassed and pissed off, and then he just starts shooting live rounds on me. And I'm just like, what? What happened? What did I do? So funny. Yeah, that's easily one of the best, even though we shouldn't really count the greatest Royal Rumble because that was just insanity. That's one of the greatest things in a Royal Rumble history is Titus just completely disappearing under the ring.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'7" too, so he slid really far.
Yeah, he did.
And they made merch off of it too. They made merch off of it, which is hilarious.
That brings up the memory of that blonde-haured referee in the blue shirt running his ass off down the ring. And
oh, yeah. Little Nate. Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
Hauling ass. Down that long ass ramp. It takes him like 10 minutes to get to the ring because he's like, It's so good.
All right, the next one on your list.
I only have 5, and Matt took one of them, so that's okay. I'll just piggyback off you guys. No, I know Steve Austin won this one, and I know that was the one with that bounty on his head. I went back and watched that today.
Uh-huh.
And what I would say that's one of my top 5 is because
It's this one right here.
That's it.
Yeah,
That paper. That
because
Roy
I
always watches.
love. I can't see it; it's hidden. But one of my favorite wrestlers of all times is Mick Foley.
Oh yeah.
So in that Royal Rumble, there was the 3 faces of Foley.
Yes.
You know, he got beat 3 times. You know,
Mhm.
that's
that was the year after the one I'm watching. 97 was the one I'm watching. 98 was
Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love. Who doesn't want to see that?
Oh yeah, that was definitely in my top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I get it. It was Steve Austin's year. That was the big Steve Austin storyline, blah, blah, blah. But, man, you got to give credit. That was a good pay-per-view, in my opinion, because of the star power that it was in it. I just loved it.
100%.
Now, one that there's 2 people who shared this one, for me anyway. It's a comedy gimmick. Like, I'm going to go right with what Husky, with Titus World's side. I think the Bushwhacker Luke doing this, he gets right into the ring and he goes like right out. Like he walks to like he one side to the other and he gets tossed.
He gets in the ring. Warlord immediately throws him out. He lands on his feet and just keeps doing the walk all the way to the back.
That was that 1 second. That was that 1 second. Yeah.
The quickest elimination until Santino Marella.
It's tied because Santino Marella in 09 did the same thing. Like he came,
runs in, immediately clotheslined out.
Yeah,
I
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
It's too good. It's too good.
So no, that's my number. Let's see, number 9 on mine. But yeah, I had to go comedy as well because it was just something that. So.
Yeah. The 2020 Rumble had a lot of like crazy stuff happen in it because that's the one where Edge returns.
Yeah.
But the interaction or the reaction that Brock Lesnar gives to Keith Lee.
Yes.
Where his music hits, he looks over at Paul Heyman and goes, "Who's this guy?" He's like, "Oh, that's Keith Lee. He's from NXT." And he turns the corner and he sees him. Oh, big boy. Hilarious. Brock Lesnar is hilarious when he's like having fun.
Yeah.
He's a trip. And just to see Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar just beat the hell out of each other for a little bit. That's a match that I wish we would have got.
Yeah. I 100% agree.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with, it's kind of interesting to me when I went back and looked at this today. 2015 when Rock saves Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
That's storytelling. And that could be part of the long-term storytelling leading into Saturday's Royal Rumble. You know,
and to the inevitable Roman Reigns Rock match that's going to happen in Mania.
Yeah. So that is, you know, if WWE does that and they whatever, that would be so cool to see. You know, Rock saving Roman Reigns' ass in 2015. Now Rock beating Roman Reigns' ass in 2024.
Can you imagine if Rock is number 30?
Just saying.
Wow. Yeah. Now. Yeah.
I'm thinking about it could possibly happen.
It could. So.
This next one for me was one of 2 that made the list of guys who started from 1 and won the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels in 95 and Rey Mysterio in what 2006.
Right.
Both started one, and both won the thing.
2006, I think, that was the one right after Eddie Guerrero passed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one, I actually had to go back and rewatch that one before this episode, and like the raw emotion through the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you knew Ray was doing it for Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself is why it's made my list, more so than when Sean did it.
Right.
Sean did it, okay, cool. Now you're going to Mania and you get that title shot. Cool.
Yeah.
But Ray did it after losing his best friend. After, and just the storytelling through that whole match and he's the ultimate underdog. He should not have won that match, but
absolutely.
he went out and did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a cool thing on WWE's part to be like, look, we know you just lost your best friend. Let's make you a world champion. And they did it. Yeah. Say what you will about the run, but they gave him a title run.
Yep.
So yeah, Ray in 06 is my number 8.
Let's see, what do I have next? Oh, this one's another funny one. This is from the 2002 Royal Rumble, when Maven eliminates the Undertaker.
Yes, that was actually gonna be one of the ones later on. Yeah,
and his reaction. Oh, apparently he was drunk when that happened, because he was in an interview and he was like, I was so nervous that I just started knocking back beers. And it was he was either drunk or hungover, and like got in there and eliminated the Undertaker. And he's just like, oh shit, was that supposed to happen?
Yep. That was fun.
And then he gets back in and beats the brakes off of him. Yeah, that one always sticks out. I think that was the last Rumble I watched before I stopped watching wrestling.
Hey Kim, how you guys doing up in the cold state of Michigan? So
it is cold. I'm not gonna lie, it is freaking brutal cold here.
Oh yeah.
My next.
Do you want me to go since your list is a little shorter?
I got one.
Okay.
It's not I do love this. This is probably some stuff I can remember, and I do remember these. It's not a particular day, a year. It's a moment that this guy continues to repeat. This guy's phenomenal. Kofi Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's run down. He landed on pancakes in 2018 to save his spot.
That one always pops me.
Yes.
So
he grabbed a hold of a pole on 2012. He did a handstand. He was caught by Big E in 2016. He crowd surfed in 2015. Landed on an office chair in 2013. And a guardrail on 2014. He's always landing on something to save his ass from both feet touching the ground. So, in my opinion, that is art in itself.
Oh,
that is amazing stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to be athletic as heck to do that stuff. And the way he does it year after year after year after year. Now, if he's in the Royal Rumble this year, and you got to expect that something like that's going to happen again, because what would make why put him in a Royal Rumble and not him do something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
they'd be missing the boat on that, in my opinion.
I think the last one he didn't he get hurt?
I think so. Yeah.
But I don't know. After that match they had with Imperium, like this past Raw, I think
Yeah.
he's probably out to do some wild shit.
Yeah, I bet you. It was good to see him back.
Oh yeah.
My next one is actually another comedy thing. I feel like I went serious, and then comedy. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of a pattern. When Beth Phoenix eliminated Great Khali
Yes.
in 2010, it was the kiss, and then like to
Dump
me
him over the rope. So good.
that was just one of my favorite moments because it's like, did that really happen? Did you just do that on TV? Like,
Amazing. I love it.
but
That's always hilarious. What was my next?
Rotsy, thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button or follow button on that Twitch account, please.
Oh yeah.
So you're up next. What's your? I don't know what. No, I think we're on like 6.
I think so. Yeah. One of my favorite eliminations of all time from the 2005 Royal Rumble, when Snitsky clotheslines Paul London and he does the shooting star press bump. Insane. Paul London is a guy that I think doesn't get talked about enough. He may be a crazy person, but he is insane in the ring. Like, watch any of his PWG stuff. Like, he goes insane out in PWG. And his Lucha Underground stuff was great too.
And his name is John Cena. He is the GOAT.
He's coming up on my list.
Well, I'm gonna jump out in front of my next one. My next one is when he returns to win in 08.
That's literally was my next pick. Was that one?
That was an MSG. That place erupted.
Dude, it was insane. That is a Road Warrior pop.
Yeah.
Like when his music hit, that crowd. This was 2008. This is when everyone hated John Cena. Like, this was when Roman Reigns' push now is what John Cena had in 2008. Like, just ramming them down your throat. And that crowd forgot they hated that man when he came back.
Yeah.
It took the crowd a solid 2 minutes to be like, oh, wait a minute. Fuck this guy. Because it's insane, dude. He tore his pec and came back in 4 months.
Right. I think that's the same I think that's the same Rumble that Cody and Taker had that
it was his first.
That was another
Rumble.
moment. It's not that moment per se in the match, because I don't really I remember going back and watching it and noticing the interaction. It's just the story and how Cody talking about it. That to me, that pops me every time because he gets into it. He's like,
right.
Like, yeah, now I want you to do this, and okay,
Taker took a bump for me. Just when you watch it back, knowing the context of what's going on throughout it, it makes it so much better. Yeah. Just because because he tells you what his physical reaction to it was, and he's like, go in there and hit him. So I hit him as hard as I fucking could. Oh god, it's so funny.
The 08 Rumble is really, I think, underrated.
The 08 Rumble is a pretty solid Rumble from rewatching it.
Yeah.
I'm going to hop back to the 2020 Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre eliminating Brock Lesnar.
Yes, I think we all popped when that happened.
That crowd went insane. When that Claymore connected, everybody knew the gig was up for Brock. That didn't really lead to anything, did it? With Drew and Brock?
McIntyre ended up.
He ended up winning the Rumble.
Yeah, and then going on to, it was a pandemic year.
Yeah,
and he ended up going to Mania and beating Brock for the championship.
Oh yeah, it did. That's right. Yeah, Yeah, that set up the world title thing.
That was a hell of a match too at Mania.
Let's step away, guys, real quick. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that was a great Rumble. Like
2020 was. I mean, 2020 for the year that we had with the pandemic, I feel like they did the best they could, and the cinematic matches were tremendous.
Oh yeah, there were some really, really good ones.
Now my next pick was when Kane chokeslammed Sabu through the table in 07.
Yes, that spot is insane.
Yeah, like I had to go back and rewatch and make sure I remember it, because I was, when I first came up with the concept of this show and like what we were gonna do, I googled like best Royal Rumble, and then I started like YouTubing it and going back and watching some of them, and then I fell down the wormhole of what is the Royal Rumble, and like hours and hours and hours just spent looking at videos. But yeah, definitely Kane's chokeslam in 07 on Sabu through the table will be
which
one
is
of
hilarious.
those moments.
Which is hilarious because it's like Sabu's in a Royal Rumble, so yeah, there's going to be a table involved. Yeah, and 99% of the time he's going to go through the table. So they didn't know what to do with Sabu.
If it's not barbed wire or on fire, then it's probably going to be a table.
Yeah, exactly. If it were any other company, it'd be a combination of the three.
A table wrapped in barbed wire on fire.
Yep. There you go.
Yep, exactly.
That's the AEW special.
That's
GCW.
Yeah, that's a game changer. That's a game changer show.
We need to put Matt Cardona on Game Changer and get him to the damn table.
Oh, he's about to.
I hope so.
My next one is from 2019.
Okay.
Becky Lynch entering herself in the Rumble at the end. With her being like, no, put me in, and Finley just going, there you go. That crowd went nuts. Everybody I was watching it with went insane because we were all massive Becky Lynch marks at the time. And when she comes busting in, I'm like, that's it. Our girl's going to Mania. It was awesome. So good.
How about I'm looking at my list here.
I got one more. Hey, Dad, how you doing? Proof Mine, thank you for the comments. When we talk about Royal Rumble, if we talk about the history of Royal Rumble, whether it be my favorite or not, we have to talk about 1988, which is the first Royal Rumble ever. It was in front of 20. It was 20 people in the event instead of 30. And of course, Duggan beat a one-man gang to win that and stuff like that. And what I thought was cool about it was on USA Network for free, not a pay-per-view. So that was pretty cool. And
it was a TV special.
Bret Hart was in it. We have to pay homage. If we're going to talk about Royal Rumble, we need to throw them in the mix of being the very first to put the Royal Rumble on the map. So that's why I would say they have to be at the top somewhere.
And I found out recently it wasn't the main event.
No, you're right. It was not.
Yeah, there was some tag.
Well, because it was Hogan. It had to have been Hogan because Hogan must pose.
Well, yeah, true. But it was some tag match, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Hogan was probably involved in the tag match.
Probably. It was Hogan and Beefcake against two jobbers, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see. In the Rumble that I'm watching right now, that's in the background right now, 97. Stone Cold. He stole the show.
Yep.
Throwing people out, sitting up on the turnbuckle, going.
Yep. Checking his imaginary watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That moment, like when he just started doing that, when he was on the top turnbuckle, just doing that, and it showed more like his character more, and just that to me was just
It's perfect.
stone cold.
It was perfect. It was perfect. It was exactly what you wanted from Steve Austin winning the Royal Rumble. It was perfect. Perfect in every way.
And then he went on to beat HBK for the championship at Mania, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. It was that WrestleMania.
So I have two more on my list.
I've got two more. One of them for me is Asuka winning the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble in 2018, because it was also the same year that Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble.
Okay, that's cool.
So seeing
got a message, homie.
Because like Shinsuke Nakamura was one of my favorites in NXT, and same with Asuka. So to see them both on the main roster and win the Royal Rumble was insane.
There were two of them that are kind of the same. I'll go with 1A first, or 1B first. It was Shawn Michaels' 1 Foot Wonder.
Oh,
where here's British Bulldog thinking he won. Shawn, only 1 foot touched, gets back in the ring and dumps Bulldog to win. And that was at 95, wasn't it? Was it 95?
That was 95, yes.
Yes. That's why I didn't. He won from number 1, but that spot in and of itself was one of the top 5 moments in my opinion, of Royal Rumble history, because it had the controversy, it had the athleticism, it had just had the drama, it had the storytelling, it had everything you'd want from a moment at a pay-per-view, and that's my 1B. So number 2. And our number 1s, I guess, would be
my number 1.
I'll be disappointed if you steal this one from me.
My number 1 is Vince McMahon blowing out his quads. Hearing Edge tell the story, because Edge was out there when it happened. Because he was eliminated either 3rd or 4th, because he was still out at ringside when they both hit the ground at the same time. And hear him tell the story, and he's like, I look down the ramp, and here comes that power walk. He's throwing his jacket. He's motherfucking everybody all the way to the ring. Edge flies past him, gets back to the back, sees on the monitor him hit the ring, and then boom. And then he tries to stand up, and he eats shit. And the fact that Vince McMahon, under his own power, walked from the ring to the limo to go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's impressive.
With no quads.
That's nuts.
The man is a freak of nature.
Yeah.
He's also He's also squatting 1,000 pounds for no reason whatsoever. You are. Did you see that before that Mania that he wrestled Pat McAfee? He sent in a video to the Pat McAfee show of him squatting 1,000 pounds.
Wow.
There's no
You're
reason
77 years old.
Why do you need to do that?
Exactly. What? You're almost 80 years old. Why do you need to squat 1,000 pounds?
Right. You had nothing to prove.
You've proved enough, Vince. Like,
Yes.
Relax, please.
Now my last entrant into this, my number 30, if you will, is the entire 1992 Royal Rumble.
Oh.
It was the first ever time that the WWE Championship, then the WWF, the Winged Eagle, was vacated. And it was the first time that you had, there was a lot of firsts. It was the first time you had the championship on the line for the Rumble. It was the first time you had another championship that wasn't the Winged Eagle on television at a pay-per-view with when Ric Flair brought the big gold out.
Brought big gold with him, yep.
He won the damn thing with a tear in my eye.
From number 3.
From number 3.
And it was one of the first like Iron Man performances. Because Ted DiBiase had a pretty long one like a few years prior, but I think Flair broke an hour.
Yeah.
In that match.
He was the first to go an hour, I believe.
Yeah.
And that set up one of my all-time favorite WrestleManias.
Mania 8?
Yeah, I love 8.
I was
8 from the Hoosier Dome.
There.
The pay-per-view in and of itself set up so much. You had Piper beating the Mountie for the IC Championship because I think Bret Hart had the flu that night and couldn't go. He was running some ridiculous high temp.
Yeah,
so
like
he couldn't go that night. So Piper stepped in, beat the Mountie, and that set up Piper, Hart, Bret at Mania. That's a great match.
Yep.
The Royal Rumble produced a match that we all needed to see. Is Undertaker Jake the Snake. Another great match at Mania. The fact that Sid screwed over Hogan and set up the double main of, or Hogan screwed over Sid because Hogan got thrown, and of course the handshake and pulling him over set up Flair to win, and then you have Flair Macho. That the pay-per-view set up so much for WrestleMania 8, and that's what I missed. I missed the long-term storytelling. I missed the storytelling in and of itself, because if you look at our current product, and that's why I'm going to dedicate the shows on Wednesdays to old stuff, because the stuff we do now, it just seems like they're doing spots to do spots. And it does like there's no things just don't add up to me, and they don't. There's a little bit of a disconnect. I don't know. I'm showing my age at this point. Been watching since the inception of Mania.
Because people have short attention spans.
True. We live in a world of ADHD.
Instant.
I got 80 of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Hey, Husky.
Yes.
He mentioned Sid and Hogan. I told you? Have you heard the Sid Vicious story that between my brother and I?
No.
Oh my God.
So my bro is probably 8, 9 years old at this time. Yeah, because I think I was 18, 19. So you might have been. We're 10 years apart, so not 8 to 9. Mm-hmm. And I lived with my mom and dad with Matt, and we lived in a chalet. So my room was on this side of the chalet, and my brother's room was on this side of the chalet.
Right.
And mom and dad knew that I was going to watch Saturday Night Main Event, but I got strict rules. You do not let your brother in that room when watching that show. He's too young and it's too late. Like, okay, mom, cool. Yep, mom, yep, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm up there back with my little, probably a 10-inch or 12-inch TV,
right,
with the antennas, and it was Saturday night's Main Event. And it was Hogan. I think it was Hogan and Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious. And of course, that back in the day was when Sid goes, "What's that I smell? I smell a power bomb." Well, that event was happening, right? So I picked up my brother. I put him up in the power bomb spot. And I threw him onto the bed. His feet went up. Took out the light fixture in the room. Crashed to the ground. At 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, my dad goes busting balls up to the room and goes,
"Oh, no, you're dead."
I'm dead. I'm like, done. I'm like, no way. So Yeah.
Yeah, you can't cover that up.
Nope.
You can't cover that up.
Well,
What the hell happened? I'm like,
When there's a giant hole in your ceiling, you can't really do. You can't really explain that one.
The glass fixture fell to the ground, crashed all over the place.
Oh God.
And I couldn't do what I couldn't move fast enough to get it cleaned up fast enough for him not to see it.
Right. Yeah. There's nothing you can do in that situation.
We'll talk in the morning, son. Okay.
It's like, all right.
And of course, I'm like, well, I'm going back to bed.
I'm going back to bed.
And it was my fault because he was in my room. What the hell?
Shouldn't have power bombed it that hard.
I guess.
Oh. So now we're gonna dive into this year's Rumble, and it's kind of just like it seems like just looking at the card, it's a little lackluster. I don't know if I am just holding my favorite pay-per-view of the year to a higher standard than most.
I'm thinking Friday on SmackDown, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this match is also added. Because how long are these Rumble matches going to be if you're only putting 4 matches on the card?
Well, if they're each an hour long, that's 2 hours right there.
So Kevin Owens, Logan Paul's going to go like 45 minutes? Because Roman Reigns.
That Fatal 4-Way might be able to go for about a half hour.
I could see that one go. With who's in it, yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I guess we can start at the bottom. We got Logan Paul, Kevin Owens. I feel it should have been Logan and Mello.
Yeah.
As far as the athleticism, I think that would have been a better match and as a whole.
Yeah.
And they'd be absolutely dumb to pull the title off Logan Paul.
No, they're not gonna pull the title off of Logan Paul.
No,
because LA Knight's gonna take it off of him at Mania.
Oh, I'm here for it. I would love that.
Yeah,
I'm all day for that.
Yeah, if you're not gonna put the world title on LA Knight, give him a mid card title. That'll be. I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I will take that. I just need a title on that man.
Yeah,
because he has put in too much work and got way too over for him not to hold some sort of title in that company.
I'm gonna go against what you guys say. Logan Paul is a phenomenal athlete. Logan Paul has earned his place. I'll give him his flower. I'll give him his kudos.
Yeah.
But Logan Paul, in my opinion, not that he doesn't deserve it, but he doesn't need it. You don't have to have a title on Logan Paul to put butts in seats. If Logan Paul's name's on that card, people are buying tickets.
Well, he's an attraction at that point. That's the thing.
So
that's what he is.
I believe what they should do. I think Kevin Owens is a similar person to he's been there. He's busted his ass. He's been everywhere from his interaction with Sami Zayn and the storyline of the bloodline and throughout this whole thing. I think why not put it on him? So I'm going to pick Kevin Owens going over on Logan Paul. Neither of those guys need the title. But I think you're right. I think you're going to see LA Knight going after KO come WrestleMania. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if they're in the Royal Rumble as well. I don't know, but I just think Kevin Owens is going to go over on Logan Paul or something like that. That's what I want to see. That's just my opinion. But,
I would rather see Kevin Owens win it.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Just because Logan Paul doesn't need a belt. I mean, he's a great asset to WWE. He's a moneymaker, and he'll always be a moneymaker. I mean,
he's only had 10 matches.
Yes.
And he's already surpassed the point of needing a title.
Absolutely.
to be like relevant and over.
Right. Perfect. 100%.
The next one we'll dive right into the Fatal 4-Way. Because I feel I've always felt that the Royal Rumbles should always be the main event.
Yes.
I can give a shit less if Roman's on the card or not.
Yes.
The
It
Royal
should.
Rumble needs to be the main event.
It should.
It probably won't be, but honestly they'll probably lead off with both of them back to back because they're dumb like that.
You think so?
They might go the women's first, and then Logan Paul KO, and then the men's, and then Roman.
Probably.
I mean, that's the only thing that's how I can see them staggering it.
Yeah.
But Roman, Randy, AJ, and LA Knight. It's hard to bet against the Tribal Chief at this point because of reasons. Because we know we're going to see Rock Roman at Mania now.
I also found out something thanks to Sam Roberts. If Roman Reigns holds the belt past September, he beats Hogan's reign.
Yep.
I don't see Roman Reigns losing that belt until next Mania. I think they're going to keep it on him so he can firmly beat Hogan's record, and then he can fuck off and do whatever else.
You're right.
It pains me to say it because I'm done with the whole Bloodline storyline. It's gone on far too long at this point.
I mean,
it'll be a great match. It'll be a fantastic match.
Yeah. I think it's going to set up for in Perth. I think it's going to set up AJ and LA Knight. I think they're going to have a match in Perth at Chamber.
That'll be amazing.
I think that there's going to be someone's going to interfere, and I think Solo's going to get involved and try to take out Randy. And I think that'll set up Solo Randy at Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Roman's he's not booked unless something crazy happened.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Roman wins because we'd be fools to say he's not gonna break Hogan's record at this point.
If they pull the trigger on Randy Orton beating him, so many people are gonna be pissed off. So many people.
That would be a good idea, though. I mean, why wouldn't you let Randy beat him? I mean, other than WWE, like you said, Husky wants Hogan's record to be broke.
Mm-hmm.
As annoying as that is to see that guy part-timing it, or one Friday a month for the rest of this year, and then in the next, or you said September of this year?
September of this year, he breaks.
Okay, so now you're going to see, we're going to see that. I mean, I'm a Roman Reigns guy. I love him. I think he's great, but I think he's gotten to that part-time. I get it. His health is probably not allowing him to do weekly with his leukemia. I don't know, but I'm not saying that he has, I'm not saying it's back or whatever, but I think that there's no way they're going to take it off in that WrestleMania. There's no way.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool to see Randy Orton. But you said Solo. I think I'd like to see this. I'd like to see Jey Uso come down. Remember, Jay and Randy Orton left at bad terms when Randy got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jay trying to prove himself to his brother fucks up and causes Randy Orton the chance, which is going to lead to Jay Randy Orton at Mania or Elimination Chamber.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
When we get to the men's Royal Rumble, I'll talk about what I think they're going to do with Jay, because I firmly believe. I'll just throw it out there right now. I think there's going to be Jay and Jimmy at Mania is what it has to be. It has to be brother versus brother at Mania. There's like And I think the way they're going to do it is they're going to both be in the Rumble together. They're going to have a moment, and they're going to, okay, maybe they embrace and or whatever, be like, yeah, we're back together, and like they eliminate a bunch of people, and then out of nowhere, Jay goes nah and throws Jimmy out, and that sets up Mania.
Mm-hmm.
That sets up the rivalry. They're on opposite shows, so they don't see each other every week, and that just kind of build. They can build and build and build on that, and then once Mania rolls around, it's brother versus brother.
Yeah,
with Rikishi as the special guest referee.
Yeah, bring Big Oos back.
Yeah, the Big Oos.
I love it. I love that idea.
So now we're all obviously picking Roman for that one. Now the women's match, the women's Royal Rumble match. We'll talk about that first. I guess who are you picking, and who's a surprise that you'd love to see make a return or a debut?
Surprises out the gate: Naomi and AJ Lee.
Yeah, I have that on my bingo card as well.
At least one of them will show up. It'll probably be Naomi, but that AJ Lee pop will go insane.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Jade Cargill's going to debut.
You don't think so? I'm so pissed off at them right now that they're not doing anything with that.
I don't think they're going to do anything with her.
Really?
For something inside of me thinks that they literally just signed her to troll AEW and they're not going to do shit with her.
That's a mistake. Not what you're saying. I don't think
I think that's an absolute mistake too. Yeah.
Why would you not use her? Because with the feud that she had with Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, that's another avenue to bring Brandy Rhodes in there.
Right. Exactly.
To not use her, that's pissing off a lot of people. I think she should have been used months ago.
I completely agree. I have no idea why she's not on TV.
Right.
Like, she showed up at an NXT thing. She was backstage at a Raw. And then that's it.
Stupid.
Like, nothing else has been said. It's like that Gable Steveson dude. Like, they did the same thing with him.
Yeah.
Well, Gable Steveson, I actually listened to a podcast, Logan Paul's podcast with Triple H.
Oh.
And he explained the whole Gable Steveson thing. Gable Steveson was under an NIL deal.
Oh, yeah.
Name, image, likeness. And basically it came down to he was able to use WWE Performance Center to train and get ready for this coming Olympics. And he was still in college, so he was training for his amateur wrestling stuff while.
Oh, okay.
And they threw the WWE logo on a bunch of his merch and just basically paid him, gave him money, but also not only the money that they helped him with getting his brand, like developing a brand for Gable. And that's what the NIL, WWE's NIL deal is all about, making a brand for the person and helping them develop and offering them a spot later on if they so choose to want to come to professional wrestling. Right. It's a really cool interview.
Nice. Yeah, I need to watch that.
You have any returns you got? Any returns or
I mean, I like the idea of AJ Lee. That'd be sick. That would make sense, a little bit of sense. I'm irritated that Jade Cargill might not show up. I think she should. I think they're missing a boat there.
I'm wrong on a lot of stuff, so she'll probably show up and win.
And Naomi, I mean, you guys
and win.
And Naomi, you know, I mean, why not?
I wouldn't mind seeing.
I will also say this: I said this last week. See, think I'm stupid. I don't care, but Impact. Somebody from Impact is going to show up at the Royal Rumble.
I'll tell you. I'll
why not? In my opinion, I feel that Impact and WWE are going to be similar to AEW and ROH because they're in with Endeavor. Why not? I think that's smart business. I think you're going to start seeing something like that. and I just somebody from Surprise from Impact, I think, will show up because there's going to be do some cross programming. So
Mm-hmm.
I think
We
somebody
talked.
from Impact.
We said. Oh, it's right there. We said Naomi. We said AJ Lee. And everyone on in the IWC is all like, Mercedes Monet, bring us Sasha Banks. No.
She's
I just don't see it.
She's
But
gonna
I
go to
see
AEW.
I see Mickey James. Mickey
Yeah.
James, because Nick Aldis is they're married.
And she's like running OVW
Yeah.
too. She's working with OVW now.
Yeah.
So.
And I think if you hear hardcore country, that place will go nuts.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's going to be a call up. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to get called up for the Rumble.
Needs to be a couple of those girls from NXT to call up. They're missing a boat on a bunch of girls. Up there.
Cora Jade, another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, if she didn't get hurt.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez is the other one.
Roxanne Perez would be great to see.
And then a return as well, maybe coming back from her pregnancy, Alexa Bliss would be
Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah, Liv Morgan.
Have Liv Morgan come back.
So who do you got winning?
I
want Bayley to win, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think the shit that she started coming down the ramp in Survivor Series, Survivor Series? With Damage Control?
Yeah.
I think they still haven't done enough for her. They put her in the spotlight with the, Damage Control, but she's not won. She's, So I think they need to have Bayley winning it. I think that'd be good for her. And I think the first person that should be thrown out is Bianca Belair, because I can't stand that person.
I'm going to say I want Bayley to win. I think Becky Lynch is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Okay. Yeah.
Set up her and Rhea Ripley.
That could be, yeah, true.
And that will be your main event for night one.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then
I'm completely okay with it. That'll be a fantastic match. And you can even work in for the SmackDown title, have Bayley and Io Sky for the SmackDown Women's title.
Yeah. Good.
Set up the end of Damage Control. Or at least Bayley in Damage Control.
So you think Lynch can beat there we go. Lost his name. Rhea Ripley at Mania?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
So moving
What's your pick?
Well, I'm picking Bayley.
Okay, all right.
Bayley, cool. Bayley or Becky, or like it's kind of a coin flip at that point.
Yeah, it's either one of those two for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Men's Royal Rumble, which should be the main event. Surprise entrance and call-ups or returns.
Trick Williams.
Okay.
Will show up and as a call-up. Return. I don't know. I don't even know who's gone that could return.
I think we're pretty much healthy for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, Braun Strowman?
No,
maybe.
Not.
Maybe. Who else has been out hurt?
You got Omos.
Yeah, sure. MVP make a comeback for one Rumble. Debut though, Kazuchika Okada.
Thank you.
As much as I don't want to see him in WWE because they're gonna fuck him, that pop will be massive.
Yeah.
Just to hear the coins drop. I hope if he does go to WWE, I hope that he keeps his music.
Yeah.
And keeps everything that makes him who he is.
Yes.
Like the full presentation, him coming out doing the pose, them doing the zoom out. Like, they need to keep everything to make that work. Who's winning it, though?
Yeah.
I hate to say it. CM Punk.
I'm a Punk head, so
They're going to give it to CM Punk, and he's going to headline WrestleMania.
it's going to be him and Seth Rollins.
Well, they said that that's off. Apparently.
Really?
Or no, I think it was for Rumble.
Rumble, yeah.
I think it was for Rumble. So if they do stretch it out and he's cleared to go for Mania, I think it might be CM Punk and Seth Rollins headlining WrestleMania.
That'd be wild to not have Roman in the main event of Mania.
Punk's gonna politic his way to headline Mania. Because he will say, "I will." Do you want a repeat of what I did in the last company? I will start a fucking war back here, because he's done it before. I think CM Punk will headline Royal Rumble or Mania 40. As much as I hate it,
So my debuts will never happen. One I hope never happens, and one that I want to happen now that I'm liking the guy will never happen. But I'd love to see MJF show up. That would be sick as hell.
that would be crazy.
The buzz around the internet that everybody says, "Oh, he's going to show up." I hope the fuck he doesn't.
No,
Matt
he
Cardona.
needs surgery. Oh, Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona could.
I mean,
I
I
could
just
easily see.
and I just
easily
because
see.
I had a bad conversation with Matt Cardona. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. He could go blows with anybody. He's a beast. So would he be good for the business? Yeah, but I just think he's such an egotistic bastard that I don't like him. So.
I got a bunch of stuff sent to me by Matt Cardona.
Did you? that never mind. I'll be nice about it. You know, I reach out on a daily basis to wrestlers, blah 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 blah. That guy says for 30 minutes you're going to pay me $500 because I'm the star and you're just a little podcast. I'm like, okay, dude. Nope, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm all right on that.
Whatever. But Matt Cardona, he could. I would not be surprised if that happened. But I think you're on the right road, and I am a Punk head, and I do like the idea that he's going to stream WrestleMania. I think CM Punk's going to win. I think he's going to go after Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But I wish there was a way to make Damian Priest cash in somewhere on Rumble. But what is he going to do? Where's he going to cash in at? Unless he cashes on Gunther.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't see that. So, but yeah, that's all.
Let's see. Debuts. Well, call-ups. Call-ups, we'll go Braun Breaker. Gets called up. I think it's time.
About time.
Yeah.
I think it's time for him to make that debut. As far as debuts, as far as like from other companies, Okada definitely on the list. MJF always on that short list. There's really nobody else that is technically a free agent, I guess.
Right.
And I don't think Tama Tonga's a big enough name for people to understand like why he's there.
At least in the U.S. to like casual fans that don't watch New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, I would pop if Tama came out.
Gorillas of Destiny show up in WWE? Hell yeah. That'd be incredible.
And as far as I have two winners, I have two guys. One is the guy that we've all said it, Punk will probably end up winning. But imagine this setup for WrestleMania. Gunther wins. He's still your IC champion. And say The Rock Roman doesn't happen at Mania. Say that ends up happening at Perth. Like that they're lying to us. That they're saying that they don't. They want to. If it happens in Australia, that would be perfect.
Right.
Now, Gunther wins. Now it's Gunther versus Roman at Mania. Streak versus Streak. IC Championship versus Roman's WWE Champion. And they would have an absolute slugfest of a match. I think Roman Gunther would tear the house down. I really do.
But
it would be Roman's best match.
Yeah. Probably not going to happen because
sadly
we're fantasy booking at this point. It's just not happening. But if it did, I would be okay with it. And for all those Punk guys out there, for me as a Punk, well, he doesn't get his shot. And well, what about Cody not getting his spot? Well, that's when you have Cody. You could potentially have Cody Punk at Mania, or
especially after Monday.
Yeah, you could have Punk. Punk's one of those guys. It's hard to argue that his in-ring talent isn't good.
Yeah.
So I think he could wrestle a mop at Mania and still put on a. Well,
yeah.
I would say it's a 5-star match, but it's not in the Tokyo Dome, so
it's not in the Tokyo Dome, and it doesn't involve Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, or Nick Jackson. So
yeah,
or Will Ospreay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my pick. I mean, Punk wins. I think we all are in agreement on that. Yeah. That's all. I mean, I think we covered everything we hope to see.
Yeah.
The legends. That's another thing. Like, what kind of legends do you think? Because the rumor has it, X-Pac might make an appearance.
I could see that. That'd be awesome. Trying to think of who else would be. Michelle McCool make an appearance in the Women's Rumble. It'd be cool to see Molly Holly again.
Maurice, possibly.
Maurice, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Gail Kim would be cool if we're going the TNA route.
Yeah, Gail Kim would be cool because I mean she's got history in the WWE, so yeah, that makes sense for sure. I don't know who else is even working right now that would.
The one that I think would be a lot of fun. And I would pop just because of the history I have with said individual. I would love to be sitting there and be like, all right, like say at number 15 or 16, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go, Mister! And just, I would freak the fuck out if that happened. If Ken Anderson, oh my God.
That would be crazy. You just see the mic drop?
Yes.
I would lose my shit.
I'm putting that out in the universe. Make it happen.
Yeah, throw that energy out there. Ken, get your ass to Tampa. Show up at like number 10. Oh, that's another one. Sean Spears.
Yes.
I'd love to see Alex Kane. He'd be...
Oh.
That'd be awesome. Boomaye. Holy shit. Yes.
Boomaye is for the people. Dude, he would tear it up in a Royal Rumble.
I think so.
But, so that's our program for the week. Mr. Husky has to get back to work.
Yeah, I do.
So thanks again for coming on, and
Absolutely.
We'll look forward to maybe doing something for WrestleMania, having you back and doing essentially the same thing that we're doing right now.
Hell yeah, dude. Sounds good.
So if you got anything to plug, feel free. I know you're busy over there on Rivet City Radio.
Yeah, I'm You can catch me on the World Championship Wreckage YouTube page for Queen's Court with myself, the Tribal Queen Bree Stout, and the Wrestling Encyclopedia Mike Duplessis, where we break down Monday Night Raw from the very start to current day. We are about to drop February 94, and then tomorrow we're actually recording the lead up to WrestleMania 10. So
Nice.
we got some heat coming for you, and tune into the World Championship Wreckage YouTube page. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. Yeah, that's basically all I've got really to plug. Thanks again for having me, guys. This has been fun.
Thank you.
And well, for me, my next appearance on this channel will be Friday when we bring back Huge Pop sports show. Whether we're talking about MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL, pretty much everything that's going on in the world of sports. We take a break from wrestling and we dive into I always say I'm a sports fan that likes wrestling.
Right.
Like and by no means am I comparing myself to Mike Duplessis. I'm not an encyclopedia, but I'm awfully damn close when it comes to sports. Anyway, but yeah, that's my next appearance. We do Wednesdays and Fridays. And guys, if you're listening and you want to be part of a show and you love what we're talking about, please don't hesitate to reach out. We love talking to people outside of us.
So Huge Pop at night. You can check out tonight's Andrew Anderson, the Revolutionary. Will be our guest. He'll be talking about Gotham. He'll be talking about the movie Wrestler and his interaction. He was developed by Jimmy Superfly Snuka, so that'll be a good story to hear. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central on the Huge Pop Brother show, Thursday Alliance. Yeah, Thursday Night Alliance. We'll be talking to Bruiser Brody's wife, Barbara Goodish, and Herb Simmons from SICW. So that's what we got going on the rest of this week. So check us out. Hit the YouTube subscribe button. Hit the Twitch button. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank you, Matt, for being my brother. Thank you, Husky, for coming on tonight. We love you guys. Thank you for the good music that Matt didn't play this time, but it's getting there.
Hey, thank you, man. Anytime.
Well, yeah. It'll be on next week, I promise. Tune in next week. You'll hear. Actually, tune in Friday. You'll hear what it should be. So, all right. See you guys next week.
See you guys.
I'll never back down.